All right, we're recording another video, and this video, excuse me for stepping outside the frame, is going to be about Ruins of the Lost Realm. To really sum this up, it is about the city of Tharbad, which is only partially civilized. The rest of it lies in ruins. And your characters can be sent there to take on various missions and journeys and adventures for a number of patrons, as well as interacting with landmarks and areas somewhat described in like parts of J.R.R. Tolkien's literature. The way after I read it, the first thing I thought was full of radiance. Now here is the map of Tharbad, which I think is amazing. It's on the front cover there. And only part of the city itself is actually occupied. The rest of it is ruins. And so your characters have a lot of different options for adventuring within Tharbad. And it also makes a really good place to rest and do fellowship, between adventures. There's a nice tavern in the area, and a market, etc. So your characters will be able to put up and hang out. As always, it gives you pictures of NPCs and full descriptions, as well as what their distinctive features might be, and also their wants, desires, how your characters can interact with them. Now, this part here, this is funny. There's a picture of an adventurer trading or paying off some otters. Now, I was unaware that otters in the Lord of the Rings could speak. But apparently there is a population of otters called the Nindrug in the Elvish tongue, descended from those who were awoken by the elves of Erigion, or Origion, however you want to say it. And some of these otters retain the ability to speak the tongue of mortals and a talent for using tools. Endlessly curious and gossipy, and often willing to serve as guides through the marsh, for a fee, of course. What does an otter do with money? They wait until a dwarf smith comes by, and then they buy clever toys to play with as they swim along. Where does an otter keep its money until then? In a riverbank, buried. So it tells you all about what the otters are up to there. And it tells you about the town leader, the healer. The other thing that's really good, there's the dwarf halls of Harmelt, ruins of Cardolan. If you ever played Lord of the Rings online, you're aware of what the ruins of Cardolan are. But yeah, it's just a wide open area full of places to adventure and different missions, etc. The Tree of Sorrow is really cool. It kind of reminds me of the tree from Labyrinth, except, there's no darkness waiting on the inside. There's just tree folk warriors, which are not necessarily great things. You've got the Shrouded Islands, and so you can go and visit that area if you want. Another thing, not to jump, also there's a big map of the city. Not to jump too far ahead of things, but the city of Tharbad is definitely a good jumping up point if you had adventurers heading towards Moria. So if you look on the map, You've got Swanfleet and Tharbad, right? And that's just a few, maybe weeks travel from Redhorn Pass or the West Gate to Moria. If you followed the river Glanduin to the headwaters, you would arrive at the West Gate of Moria. So let's say the adventurers start out in the Shire and they do a bunch of adventures up near Anuminos and Fornost, etc. Then at some point they might want to, if that's what you want to do, journey south through Cardolan into Tharbad and do the adventures there. This is more of like a campaign book than a adventure book. It offers lots and lots of adventure hooks, but it's up to you as the game master and the players to decide what they're actually interested in doing. So that's really cool. As usual, it's a free league product, which means it comes with a page, a silk page marker. It's of highest quality. Made in, I believe, Sweden, and this one is printed in standard Impressa UAB. I think that's like not Yugoslavia, one of the Baltic countries, Latvia, Lithuania, or whatever the other one is. I apologize for not remembering. I know it starts with an E. Estonia. But the art in this is amazing. The paper is nice and thick. It's got the whole decoration with Elven script around it that you would expect. And it has different chapters that break down the different landmarks. So it's really good. The whole point of this book is to make Southern Eriador a living, breathing setting for a role-playing game. So, it tells you that it requires a loose interpretation of those parts of stories that dealt with the region. For example, in the Tale of Years, in The Lord of the Rings, the entry for the year 2912 states that Tharbad was ruined and deserted as a consequence of great floods that struck the area. In this present volume, we've chosen to read that as Tharbad being mostly abandoned, but the town limps on under the unlawful rule of bandits for another 2 generations. The land is still lonely and underpopulated, but role-playing games need people to talk to, so wherever possible, we've added characters. If you choose to interpret the world of Tolkien differently, then Tharbad and Londare might both be desolate and empty by 2965. So they give you the options, and that's really good. So this is not next on my list of what I would run when and if I run the One Ring, but it would be in line for what I'd run. In the next video, I'm going to break down the One Ring Tales from the Lone Lands, and this is the one that's just full of various interlocked adventures, but they don't have to be interlocked, that I would probably try to hook the players into being a part of. A lot of the adventures in that take place north of the Shire. So, you do adventures north of the Shire, and then maybe you head south. And you do adventures in Cardolan, and then maybe you head into Moria, which I have that book. So we'll see. A whole campaign could happen here. So until the next video, when I go into more detail about it, that's it about Lost Realms. I didn't want to go into extreme detail because I don't want to ruin the book for you. If you buy this book, I want you to read it and to, enjoy discovering the mysteries and the secrets of Tharbad and the region around it. But I can tell you, yes, it's a good setting book, and a party and a good GM could have months of fun just going through the various things in Tharbad. So highly recommended as everything in the One Ring line. I have yet to be disappointed with a single thing from the One Ring. So let's hope that doesn't happen in the near future. Knock on plastic, I guess. This is wood. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love, good gaming, and the One Ring, a really good fantasy role-playing game if you are a token fanatic like myself.